Hello, this is Samir Machwe and welcome to the brand new series that we are starting called Think Abundance. You may be aware that we have just concluded yet another series, 30 episodes in the previous series of How to Be Rich for Sure. And in that series, we discussed the money habits that make you rich. This is a brand new series I am starting today. And in this series, we are going to discuss ideas, we are going to discuss different thoughts, we are going to talk about stories, we are going to talk about articles, we are going to discuss books, and we are going to discuss anything that helps us to grow and seek abundance. And why we are going to do that? Because nature seeks growth, nature seeks abundance. And we human beings also seek growth. We also want abundance. Each one of us wants abundance in our life. The design of life is growth. The design of life is abundance. Hence, in this series, we are going to discuss anything that will move our life forward and increase the level of abundance that we currently experience in our life. This is the aim of this series. And we are going to publish one episode every Saturday, 5 p.m., same time. And we are going to do this on the Facebook page of FINDAS, and we are going to do it on our YouTube channel, FINDAS. So make sure that you note this time, every Saturday, 5 p.m., think abundance. This is what we are going to do. So today, in this first episode, I am going to share one of my experiences from my life. When I was in school, there were two kids in my neighborhood. We used to all play together, and I used to share a good lot of time with those two kids. Of course, there were other friends also, but all of us were a company. Now, one of the kids was very good. They were not in my school, but we were so closely connected, so we knew almost what is going on in each other's life. So one of these kids was very good in school. He used to score good marks. He used to be good in sports also. And the other kid was not so good. He used to fail. He used to have struggle with his studies, and all that used to happen. Just to give you a brief background, this second kid who was not so good in school, his parents used to almost every day curse him. They used to tell him that he is a good for nothing fellow, he does not have brain in his skull, and all that negative talk used to happen. They used to beat him, and all that used to happen. Over a period of time, it so happened that the kid kept failing, and somehow in every class he used to stay for 2 or 3 years and then pass. The other kid who was a good to do, his parents were always giving him good fillers. They used to tell him that he is smart. They used to tell him that he is good in studies, he can do it. They used to push him, motivate him, and inspire him. Now, it so happened, it was a very unfortunate event in that scenario, that this second kid who was not good in school, eventually he could not pass the 10th board examinations. He attempted four times to pass the exam. And eventually, one fine day, this kid committed suicide. All of us were really shocked. We felt really sorry, and we were all wondering that why did it happen at all in the first place. Eventually, when I myself grew up and I started reading books and started doing my own self-development, so to say, through books and different seminars and programs, I came across this beautiful small poem, and the poem goes like this. It is about thought and the impact of thought on our life. The poem goes like this, that you can call it a poem or you can call it a paragraph, whatever you choose, but the words are very important. It says that you sow a thought, you reap an action. You sow a action, you reap an habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. You sow a character and you reap a destiny. The day I read this thing for the first time, it did not land on me. What is the person trying to tell me? So I read it 4 or 5 times, and then this event, this particular event, came back to my life. I started reimagining what happened in my childhood. So this particular verse, you sow a thought, you reap an action, you sow an action, you reap a habit, you sow a habit, you reap a character, and you sow a character and you reap a destiny. It all starts with a thought. And then that was like a flashback for me. I went back and I saw that this particular kid who committed suicide, the thought was sown many times in his brain, either by himself and by the parents and all the community, that you are good for nothing. You cannot be successful. You are a useless fellow. Eventually, he started taking action. So when he was in school, he never used to study, he used to just waste away his time. That was the actions. He used to play around, he used to loiter, he used to just go away from the home, just to be away from his parent and not listen to all that negative talk. So all those were his actions. And eventually he got habitual to getting away, vanishing from his home. Slowly that became his character. That if you asked, who is this fellow? He is a good for nothing fellow. That is how people used to talk about him. Eventually, he decided to commit suicide. Suicide, as someone said, is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. The temporary problem for him was that he had failed in an exam. Somehow he could not deal with that failure, and his destiny was untimely death. So that one thought that he is not good enough, he is not complete enough, he is not capable enough, that led for him to take such a drastic action at such a small age to end his life. Now that is in the past. None of us can help it now. The question is, what does this particular paragraph, this poem tell us? It is very, very important that we consciously think about what we are thinking about. Most of us are not coached, most of us are not used to think about what we are thinking about. Or to put it very simply, we don't think about what thoughts are going through my brain right now. How I'm thinking, this is a domain in which we rarely venture. We think that thinking is an automatic process. It happens on autopilot. Unfortunately, it is not true. It may be partially true, but we can actually sow a thought in our mind. That is what we do when we set our goals. We sow a particular thought, that goal is far away. So you can set a particular goal that when I retire, I want to have certain amount in my pocket, say 5 crores, say 10 crores, say 100 crores, whatever. Or I want to build a business of this. That is what a thought you have to sow. And accordingly, when you sow that thought, you will start taking action in that direction. So if you set up a goal, say 5 crores, in 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you will take actions accordingly. When you take the actions every day on a daily basis, you will create a habit of taking that action. That will be your character. And eventually, the destiny is that you will achieve that goal. So this is how we use this simple paragraph, this simple thought, that everything starts with a thought. We have to understand that thought is the seed of all abundance. Thought is the seed of all growth. Thought is the seed of destiny. In the book Secret, they have a very unique statement. Thoughts become things. So it all starts with a thought. Now, this is one method, this is one thing that we can use to become conscious at our thinking level, and then consciously think about what we want to think about. We consciously implant certain thoughts so that we create the destiny that we want to have. We create a powerful destiny. We create a positive destiny so that we become successful in life, and not something what happened to that unfortunate kid when I was a child. That was a horrible thing for anybody's life. So remember, the thought you sow, you reap an action. You sow an action, you reap a habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. You sow a character, you reap a destiny. Everything starts with a thought. So don't let the thoughts run on autopilot. Don't let it control your life on autopilot. Don't let the random thoughts decide your destiny. Take control of that. So let us all learn something from this and use it in real life so that we can move forward in our life. So that's all for today. I hope it was of help to you. You open up, something opened up for you in this session. If this thing was helpful, if you something opened up for you, please put it in the comment below. What opened up for you, how you intend to use this particular thing. Next week, next Saturday, we'll meet with yet another interesting story or something from some book or some article or anything that is going to move our life forward and take us towards abundance. So this is the time. Think abundance. Bye bye. Take care and have an abundant life.